which will return the sheet. You have to give the sheet name. I'm giving the sheet name login data. As the return type is a sheet, I'm giving a name WS. Whatever the sheet it is returning, we are storing into XSF sheet object, WS. Okay. You tell me what next. Guess and tell me what next. In the sheet, where is the data? Where is the data? Where is the data in the sheet? In form of, yes, correct, rows and columns. At first, you have to decide from which row you want to access the data. From the first row, or from the second row, or from the third row, or from the fourth row. First, you need to decide from which row you want to access the data. First, we'll talk about how to fetch the data available in a particular cell. In the next program, I'll discuss about how to read the entire data. Okay. So I want to access the data available in the 0th row. No, first row. This is a row object, particular row. So where is the row? Where is the row? Where is the row? In a sheet. Very good. In a sheet. So here, as per my script, WS refer the sheet, login data sheet. Get row will access the specified row number. You tell me what is the row number I have to give? I want to access the data present in this row. What is the row number? This is 0. It is 1. You know, row number start from 0. So as I want to access this data, I have to give the row number as 1. Correct. Correct. Row number 1. So what is the return type of this method, this statement? What is the return type of this statement? Integer? No. Get row. Observe. Get row. We are giving the row number. Whatever the row number we are giving, that particular row will be returned. The return type is excess of row. All this is excess of implementation. Return type is excess of row. The row number 1. As the return type is a row, I have introduced you all the interfaces and classes to you. Row, some name I am giving, for example, R. Or you can use this row also. This row is different object. This row is an interface. Row. Otherwise, why confusion? Make it R. Right. Okay. Where is the data present in the row? In a row, where is the data? This is a row. What is the child objects belongs to this row? Columns. Okay, correct. Columns. But here, in Excel terminology, we call them as cells. Cell, 0th cell, first cell. 0th cell, first cell. See, cell count starts from 1, whereas cell reference starts from 0. 0th cell of the row, first cell of the row. So, here R refers that particular first row. If you want to create a cell, we can use create cell. Now, I am not creating a cell. I am accessing an existing cell, get cell. We have to use the cell number. We have to use the cell number. The return type is excess of cell. Return type is excess of cell. Cell 0 I am giving because I want to access the 0th cell of the row. The return type is a cell. You know, cell is an interface. I'm giving a name, for example, C1, cell 1. The same way, one more cell C2, column 2 or cell 2 equal to R dot get cell 1, next cell. So here, This cell we are accessing into C1. This cell object we are accessing into C2. Right. Now, here, what kind of data available in the cell? In this cell? What kind of data available in this cell? Username. I'm talking about data type. String data available. Similarly, first for your understanding, I'm changing this data. For example, 1000. This is numeric data. A cell may contain string data, numeric data, Boolean data, and different types of data. Well, now this is C1 now. I save this because whenever you edit the Excel, you must save it. We have string data in the C1. So C1 dot, in order to access the data, in order to get the data present in the Excel sheet cells, we have different methods available for access of cell class. Whatever the methods we are seeing, all these methods belongs to access of cell class. We have a method, see, get string cell value. Get string cell value. If we want to read the string data available in a particular cell, we have to use the method return type is a string. Return type is a string. This I'm keeping in a variable string, for example, user ID. Now, only for your understanding, actually, password, but for your understanding, I stored some value, numeric value here. So to teach you how to get the numeric data, other data available. Okay, see here, C2 dot get numeric cell value. In order to fetch the numeric data available in Excel sheet cell, we have to use the method get numeric cell value. These methods are available in the access of cell class. The return type is double. Integer data also you can store in double, correct? Integer also you can store in double. We have only one method. You don't have get int. Get numeric cell data. Return type is double. This I'm keeping in some variable. You tell me what is the data type? It should be double. Because the right side expression returning a double value. Just my variable is password, whatever it may be, password. Similarly, if we have Boolean data, we have a method get Boolean cell value. Okay, this is how you can fetch different types of data available in the Excel sheet cells. Now, let me print the data. User ID plus the password. I recommend once your work done, close the workbook object, not mandatory, but I recommend close the input stream object you have created. Done. Let me run this code. You please observe here, we are able to fetch the data. Got it? You please to confirm you understand the script. Here we are reading data only available in a particular row, only one row from two columns. The next program I'm going to teach you how to fetch the entire data present in the sheet. You just go through the code and confirm me so that I'll continue my next program. First, we are accessing the, let me give a small walkthrough on this code. At first, you are copying the Excel file into Java memory in the first line of code, this statement. The file you have copied is a latest version of the Excel workbook. We created an object for access of workbook class. We are accessing login data sheet. Get sheet used to access a sheet. Create sheet used to create a new sheet. One sheet will have multiple rows. We are accessing a particular row, first row. One row will have multiple columns. We are accessing the required columns. If you want to fetch the data available in the excess of cell, we have get string cell value, get numeric cell value, get boolean cell value kind of methods. That's it. Got it? Only few people are answering yes. What about remaining people? Okay. Only for your understanding, I use get numeric cell value. I'll change the data here. Instead of 1000, I'm putting this admin now. As it is string data, we have to use string get string cell data, get string cell value. Okay. Done. From a specific row, from a particular row it is. Now, in the next script, I'm trying to teach you how to fetch the entire data available in the Excel sheet. The complete data, not from a particular row, the complete data I want to read. I remove this code. Now we are accessing the login data sheet. You tell me what next. This time I want to read the entire data available in the Excel sheet, row by row, column by column. You guess what is the logic? Sai Krishna said we have to create a loop, for loop. Okay. Agree with you, Nitin and Swati, I agree with you. We have to create a loop. Previous code only, but we have to put the previous code inside a loop. Okay. For loop, you said. If I want to construct a for loop, I should know how many times I have to loop it. Correct? How many times I have to loop it here? How many times I have to loop through? 4 times. Okay. You want me to hard code the value 4? In the script, you want me to hard code the value? Right. Instead of hard coding the value 4 or 5 or 10, whatever it may be better, you make your script to count the number of rows available in the sheet. Get the row count. Yesterday, we learned how to count the number of rows available in the sheet. Let me do it first. After accessing login data sheet, ws dot get last row number, return the last row number, which is nothing but the row count. The return type is an integer. This I'm keeping in a variable row count. Okay, first let me run this. Row count. Here definitely we get 4 because there are 4 rows available. I told you yesterday the row count starts from 0th row. Here the row count is 4 because the row count starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, now I'll construct a for loop now. For int I equal to, yes, I value you want me to start with 0 or 1? 1. Only Divya said 0. Sai Krishna also said 0. You refer the sheet and answer me. You want to start from 0th row, accessing the data, or from the first row? From 1. 0th row I want to skip because I do not want to read the headings. I value we are starting from 1. Then I less than or equal to row count. I plus plus. Okay, as the row count is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times the code inside the loop gets executed. Okay, what we have to do here? Here, first I'm creating a row object. Better all variable declarations and all put outside of the loop. Row, some name R. Now, R equal to ws dot get row I. In the first iteration, I value 1. This row we are accessing into R. Correct? This row we are accessing into R. I value 1. Then here, I'm creating 2 cell objects, C1, C2. The C1 equal to R dot get cell 0. C2 equal to R dot get cell 1. Supposing you have, see here login data, I have only 2 columns. If you have n number of columns, you have to count the number of columns. You need to create one more loop inside. You have to create one more loop if there are many columns. As I have only 2 columns here, I just hard coded value 0 and 1. Otherwise, I'll create one more loop here based on the column count. Then here, I'm declaring 2 more variables to store the data present in the cells, user ID and password. The user ID equal to C1 dot guessing cell value. The password equal to C2 dot guessing cell value. Now I'm printing the user ID value and the password value together. Let us run this code. See, we are able to fetch the entire data available in the Excel sheet cell like this. Got it? So once my work done, here I close the workbook object, I close the input stream object, I'll close the input stream object, done. So this code explaining you how to fetch the entire data present in the Excel sheet like this. Supposing tomorrow I added one more row. See, let me add one more row. Say, for example, Suresh demo. I save the file. You no need to change your code because dynamically your code counting the number of rows and fetching the data. Automatically last row data also will be retrieved. Because dynamically you are counting the number of rows and constructed a loop here. Got it? Right. Please everybody do confirm you understand this code. If you have any questions on these 2 programs you post, if you have any questions, I clarify, then I go with my next topic, how to write the data into Excel sheet cell. No questions. Right. Now let me teach you the script to write the data into Excel sheet. Writing data into Excel sheet. how to write the data into Excel sheet. Nitin, already I told you, here already we have added IY exception, right? Already we have added IY exception. If any exception occurred, you get the exception automatically. For that reason, we have added IY exception here. Well, let me teach you how to write the data here. I want to write some results here, say pass, fail, whatever it may be. So we are learning the concept like how to write the data, whatever the data it can be, that is later, second story. Now, once again, we are accessing the login data sheet. Now I want to write the data here. First, you have to decide where you want to write the data in the first row. In the first row, as you were trying to write the data in a particular row here, first you need to access the row, particular row. How? WS dot get row. We have to give the row number 1. Row number 1. We are accessing this particular row. Then here I want to write the results. Here I want to write the results. So in which column you want to write the results, that you have to decide. In which column you want to write the results? Third column, that is 0, 1, 2. Well, my question, no, it's 0, 1, 2. If this column is created, see, this column created, but this column is not yet created. This column also not created, even this column also not created. See, when you key some data, see, this column not created. This column is created. This column is not yet created. So previously we are fetching the data. Already data available, meaning columns are created, cells are created, data entered, we are fetching the data. But I'm trying to write the results in a new cell, which was not yet created. First, if you are writing the data, you need to create a cell first. Create the cell. Previously I used get cell, but here if I use get cell, I get null pointer exception. We have to create a cell. So now WS dot, no. This one, row we are accessing, right? Row, some name R equal to. We are accessing the first row, this row. We are accessing this row. In this row, I want to create this column. 0, 0, 1, 2. R dot. Previous I used get cell. Now I'm using create cell. Which cell you want to create? Cell number you have to give. The return type is a cell. After creating the cell, that particular cell will be returned. Cell number 2. This will return the cell. Cell. This I'm keeping in some variable. Say for example C. Now C in this cell, previous I use get string cell data, something like this. To fetch the value I use get string cell value, get numeric cell value, Get Boolean cell value. Get to get the data. Now I am not getting the data, I'm writing the data. We have to use a method set cell value. Please observe the method name set cell value. You want to write the Boolean data, use it. You want to write a date, use it. You want to write a double, you use it. You want to write a string, you can use it. I want to write a string. What is the value you want to write? For example, pass. Okay. Now, it's a write operation, right? Swati, I mean, already I told you yesterday, column count start from 1, whereas column reference start from 0. Column count start from 1, column reference start from 0. Hence, we are using the column number 2. Right. Now here, no, the methods are made like that. We cannot do anything. We are using the ready-made methods available in Apache POI. Actually, I agree with you. It's definitely a small confusion. They are starting the column count from 1, whereas they are starting the column count from 0. We have to remember this. Now, it is a write operation, correct? Writing data. We are writing the data, which is a write operation. So what we have to do? We have to use file output stream. Excellent. I'm using file output stream because this pass is written in the file which is available in the memory. Your code not writing the data in this file. Your code writing pass in the file, I mean in the copy which is available in the memory. So if you want to update here, we have to go with file output stream, some name FOI equal to new file output stream. You have to give the file path. You want to overwrite the existing file, same file path you can give. Or you want to copy into a new location or new file, you can give the new file path. Supposing I want to overwrite in the existing file. Same file. The existing file will be overwritten. If I give a new file name, the data will be copied into the new file. Then whatever the contents available in the memory, write the contents into file output stream in the desired location. Once my work done, better you close the workbook object, input stream object, also output stream object. Got it? Right now, see, as of now, you are performing only read operations earlier. Now you are performing a write operation on the same file. You are performing a write operation on this file. This file must be in the closed state, otherwise you will get IO exception. This file must be in the closed state because you are writing on the same file. I save it. Let us run the script. So I executed this code. You just observe, just now this file was overwritten. Observe the date and time, 7:44 p.m. Because just now this file was copied again, because the existing file was overwritten. You please observe the data was written here, pass. Okay? I hope you understand how to write the data into sheets, a particular cell. Right. Look at file input stream only used to read the data. File output stream, we have to write the data. File input stream contain, it is a predefined program in Java which contain only for accessing the data, not for writing the data. For writing the data, they have given a separate class file output stream, we have to use it. See, we are using a predefined programming language Java. As per the Java standards, we have to go. As per our standards, Java will not go. Nitin, the answer is for you also. We are using a programming language. Whatever in the programming language, we have to take the guidelines of the programming language to code it. Okay, what we are thinking, Java will not do. For that, we have to create our own programming language. Now, if you want to write the data here, you have to go for the next row. So I told you, just I'm introducing you the basic operations now. While creating test cases, you'll get more clarity how to write the entire results. We'll see that. And here, in the previous program, in this program, reading the entire data from Excel or maybe reading data from Excel. Let's see. In one scenario, we'll get an exception. I'll introduce that when we get the exception, how to handle the exception. I'll take the first program. The very first program it is. The first program where we are accessing the data from a particular row. Here are, we are accessing the first row, this row. Admin and admin is the data available here. We are accessing column 1 and column 2, cell 1 and cell 2. We are reading and printing the values. Well, now let me run this code again. We should get admin and admin. Yes, we are getting admin and admin. Okay. Now see, so what I'm doing, I remove this data. There is no data available here in a particular column. I save it. Okay. Column available. See, column available. Column is created because what I did, previously there is some data like this. I deleted the data, not the column, correct? I deleted data, not the column. So column available, but there is no data in the column. This time what I do, keenly observe what I'm doing. I remove the entire column. I'm inserting again. Password. Here I am not entering any data. Here I am not entering any data. But here I am entering some data. Demo, ABC, XYZ, whatever. My question, clearly listen my question and answer me. If this cell is created, this cell created this cell was not yet created. Okay, I save the file. I'll run this code. Here we are trying to access the data from both user ID and password. Here we are trying to access the data from a cell which is not yet created. Line number 27, we are trying to access the data from a cell which was not yet created. Let us run this code. Okay, the new Excel. Do one thing. Set password. We'll do one thing. I was not saved properly. I'll do it. We should get null pointer exception somewhere. I'm not getting. Because already I was created and I'm removing. I'll do one thing, 0, 1, 2. I'll use this column, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. 3. Because previously I was used them. Yes. You please observe here. Now previously what I did already I created, I removed. In the memory it is already available. So I use a new cell which is not available or which is not created. We are getting some exception. Null pointer exception. So if a code trying to fetch the data from an empty cell which is not yet created, I repeat, if a code trying to fetch the data from an empty cell which was not created, we receive null pointer exception. Let me teach you how to handle this exception. Okay, here. I'll add one more script here. Handling null pointer exception that occurs when script trying to read data from null cell, empty cell. How to handle the exception that occurs when your code trying to fetch the data from a null cell, that is empty cell. This one, this is a null cell, this is a null cell, this is a null cell. Previously, what the problem is, sometimes I removed the data for that reason properly we are not getting. Let me use a new cell which was not yet created, hence I use this cell. Well, now, here we are getting the exception here, right? Here. We are getting the exception here. So what I will do, I implement the try catch mechanism. Try the try catch mechanism. Try. First, what I do, I declare some variable. Say data C2 equal to this one. Okay, otherwise this one. Get the cell. Try to execute this code. If any exception occurred, execute the code inside the catch block. First, try to execute this code. If the cell available, will you get any exception? No, right? If the cell is available, we don't get any exception. If no exception occurred, data equal to C2 dot get string cell value. If any exception occurred, when the exception will occur here? When the exception will occur, if the cell is not available, then we receive the exception. If any exception occurred, store nothing into the variable data. Now, here, just for your understanding, I remove all the user ID kind of stuff. Now I'm printing the data. So remaining part also C1 also I'll take, not required. Cell some C, common value name I give C, right. So now get the first row. Try fetching the data available in the column 3. While executing this statement, if any exception occur, execute the code inside the catch block. Data equal to nothing. Finally, print the data. Now see, there is no data available here. There is no data available here. Okay, you don't need to close it. I'll run this code. Previously, we received an exception. Now we don't get any exception, but nothing will be printed. See, nothing is printed. We have not received any exception. Though the cell not available, we are not receiving any exception because this exception handling mechanism is handling it. Now, what I do now, I'll put some data here. I'm typing some data. I save the file. Previously null, but we are not receiving any exception because of the try-catch mechanism. Now some data available, see that some data should be retrieved. Now your code retrieving the some data. Did you understand what I did? Please do confirm. I implemented try-catch mechanism. If any exception occurred, when the exception will come, if the cell is not yet created, store nothing into the data. If no exception coming, whatever the data available, take it into a variable data and printed it. So that if you implemented this kind of mechanism, if any data available, the data will be retrieved. If it is an empty cell, we don't get exception, nothing will be stored into the variable. Right. This also important one, because sometimes your Excel sheet may not contain the data. We must implement the exception handling mechanism, this one. So the first script, reading the data available in a particular cell, particular row. If you have a null cell, how to handle this I have demonstrated here. How to read the entire data available in the sheet. How to write the results into the Excel sheet, writing data into Excel sheet, right? Please do confirm you understand this one. All these 4 programs, reading data from Excel sheet, from a particular row, handling null pointer exception if there is no data present in a particular cell, reading the entire data available in the Excel sheet by constructing a loop, and writing the results using file output state. Right. Now, the next topic, filling the colors. Filling Excel sheet cell colors. You tell me I have introduced you one interface for this. There is an interface available in Apache POI to format the cell colors. What is the interface name? Answer me. Swati, Sanjana answered. Cell style. Good, very good. Very good. Cell style. Cell style is the interface available in Apache POI to format the cell colors. We have to make use of it. Let's see how to use it. It takes time. Just a minute. Okay, I'll do one thing. To teach this, I'll write some data here. Pass here, fail here. I save this. This pass I want to show in green color. This fail I want to update with fill with red color. So how to fill the color? This is what we are trying to understand. I want to fill this color with green. I want to fill this cell color with red. How to do this? In order to format the cells, we have cell style object, cell style class. cell style interface, HSSF cell style, XSF cell style are the classes implement the interface. Now we are accessing the first row over here, R1, row 1 equal to this row. We'll do one thing. I'll explain in a generic way. Later we'll implement this. I'm accessing the first row here, this row. R. Then cell C equal to R dot get cell one moment. Okay, there is no data here. Assume that no data here. First, I want to write the results here pass. I want to write the results pass, then I want to fill with green color. R dot, you tell me what is the method I have to use. I want to write the data path, then I want to show it in green color. You tell me here what is the method I have to use. R dot, row dot. I'm waiting for your answer. Nitin answered create cell. Create, very good. First we have to create the cell. Create the cell 2, this one. 0, 1, 2. This cell is created. After creating the cell, it returns XSF cell here. Oh, just a minute. Cell C equal to. We created a cell. We created a cell. After creating the cell, I want to write some data there. Set cell value. I want to write some data, say pass. After writing pass, I want to fill with the green color. For that, we have to use cell style interface. Cell style. Some name I am giving for the object, style. Some name, whatever it may be. Equal to, I want to create the cell style for the current workbook, WB dot create cell style. Create cell style is a method, return type is cell style. Here style is the cell style object. Create cell style. We have to create a cell style, done. Then style is actually object for the XSF cell style class. Style dot, we have some method set fill foreground color. Set fill foreground color. It needs short as input argument, short number. Here every color will have some color code. We should not write green or red. We have to give the appropriate color code. We have to give the color number. Green will have some color code, red will have some color code. That color code we have to give. So better, every time we may not remember the color code, there is a enum, indexed colors, this one. It will show you all the colors available, aqua, black, blue, everything. I'm choosing green. After selecting the color, there is a method for this get index. It will return the appropriate color code. The return type is a short. See, directly we can give the color number. Instead of giving the color number, we are accessing the color code in this way. Okay. Nitin, what is your question? Yes, Nitin, what is your question? Okay. Now, so we are set fill foreground color, indexer colors. I mean green, and also we need to fill the pattern. What is this fill pattern? Set fill pattern. See, try to understand this one. I'm doing it manually first. Here I'm writing pause. After writing pause, here we have an option, format the cells, format cells. Here we have an option color. I'm choosing green. As of now, this is what you did in the code, fill foreground color. And also in the Excel, we have some pattern style. Default, we have solid pattern. How you want to show the color, that is the pattern style. There are different patterns here. I hope you are observing this. Vertical bands, horizontal bands. By default is solid. In the Excel, we have a default pattern style, solid. But in the code also, we have to configure the same. How? Using what pattern you want to update. Here there is a enum fill pattern type, fill pattern type. I'm using the enum fill pattern type. It will show you all the patterns. Alternative bars, big spots, bricks, diamonds, fine dots. So I'm using solid foreground color. Then you have configured color, also the style. This style I want to apply for a particular cell. C dot set cell style. Which style you want to apply for this particular cell? Here C refers a particular cell. For this cell, which style you want to apply this style? Set cell style used to apply a particular cell. Even filling the colors also a kind of a write operation. We must use file output stream object. Filling colors also a kind of a write operation. We have to use file output stream object. File output stream. We have to give the file path. So I'm writing on the same file. Otherwise, I'll give the new file location, test result dot xlsx, whatever it may be, new file location. Then wb dot write the file output stream, close the workbook, close the input stream object, also close the output stream object. Right. Okay. This is your input file now. We are writing the output in some other file, test result dot xlsx. This one. So let me run this code. Your code, copy this file into memory and write the results in the file present in the memory. It will write the results, pass and show in green color. Then write the output into another file you have given. Let me run this code. Done. I have executed this code. See, just now this file was created. You verify the date and time. Just now this file was created. Please observe here. This is the file. It's the old file. I close it. This is the file, test result.xlsx, pass written with the green color. So if you want to write fail or red color, same approach. In place of green, we have to choose red. That's it. In place of green, we have to choose red. So this program explaining you how to fill the colors. You understood this one? This you have to concentrate. Remaining is simple. This one, this part. Cell style is the interface available in Apache POI. We have to create the cell style object for the workbook. Set fill foreground color is the method. You have to give the color number. As we cannot remember all the color numbers, indexed colors will show you all the colors. Choose the color you want. Get index will return the color code. In the Excel, by default, we have solid pattern. Same we have configured here. Then for which column you want to apply this cell you have created. See, here C refers a particular cell. Set cell style, style name for a particular cell. Even writing color also, updating color also a write operation. We have to use the file output stream. If you want to update the same file, give the same file location, or you can give the new file. So these are all basic operations related to Excel. So the last 3 sessions we have discussed about Monday, Tuesday, today. We have learned how to perform basic operations on Excel using Apache POI. So tomorrow, everybody listen, tomorrow I'm going to teach you same thing, whatever we have learned in the last 3 days. I'm going to put all this in a library file. See, in different test cases, in various test cases, maybe Primus Bank test cases, Orange HRM test cases, or some other project, whatever it may be. Definitely we have to perform different operations on the Excel. Every time I do not want to write this much amount of code. Every time, in every test case, I do not want to write this much amount of code to update the colors. So tomorrow what I'm going to do, like app utils. Previously we have created app utils, right? Application utilities. Launch application method, close application method. So we are directly making use of them. In the same way, tomorrow I'm going to create Excel utils. Excel utils. All basic operations I'm going to convert into methods so that for any project you want to perform some Excel operation, you just copy Excel utils and call the methods and use it. We no need to write code every time. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Tomorrow I'm going to create Excel utils one class with all reusable functions, so that in any test case directly you can make use of the function rather than writing this much amount of code every time. And for everybody and everyone, don't miss tomorrow's session, because if you miss tomorrow's session, remaining Selenium classes you cannot understand, because tomorrow I'm going to create the Excel operations utils. These are input for remaining all hybrid framework, data-driven framework. Okay, I'll upload this file into Google Drive today. You just go through all the programs related to Excel operation. Tomorrow we build Excel utils class. Then day after tomorrow onwards, we start implementing the remaining frameworks. Thank you, take care, and we continue tomorrow. Good night.